Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of the mini dirt bike. This episode we are tearing apart the motor, rebuilding it, porting this cylinder, and making way more power, hopefully. We'll have to see. Let's get into it. Alright, to remove the motor, first thing we're going to do, pop the spark plug off, and we'll remove the coil before we take it out, because we have the tachometer mounted on, and it's simpler to do that and re-gap this than it is to mess with that. So I've already broken all these loose and got them almost all the way out. You got 5 bolts down here. It's all in there. And then you get the 2 exhaust ones. These ones are hard, but they all came out using the little metric Ace Hardware Allen keys. And on my model, we got one more bolt right up in there. We will just use the extendo ratchet. Never mind, one more step. We are fully taking off the exhaust and just dropping it out the way. Alright, so the point of removing the mounting bolts first and making the engine wiggle around, it gives you the most slack to skip a few steps. Like the chain, I can literally just loosen up the tighteners and the chain will just pop right off. The fuel line has more wiggle room in there. I can just slide everything out the way. Don't have to go through a few extra steps. So now we're gonna take the cover off. We're gonna loosen up this. I'll get the camera set up so y'all guys can see a little bit more. Alright, now all that's left is to maneuver it away from the exhaust, up, get the carburetor out of there. Oh look, the pads are still good. Alright, timing wheel is mounted. Just got a washer on the front, washer in the back, and a washer in the middle because the hole's too big. We gotta put it in the right orientation, of course. I believe that right now it's at bottom dead center. And I have this little bracket up here for the exhaust, and we will be using that to mark it. We'll get a little paper clip and have it coming over the top. I'll come back to that tomorrow. Right now I gotta clean up and go play some basketball. Okay, to find top dead center, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take a screwdriver in the exhaust port, push the piston all the way down. So the piston all the way down should be lining up at 180 degrees. Once that's all lined up, you say it'll take me a sec. Then top dead center will be all the way at 0 on the other side. Top dead center. We'll be measuring just the exhaust duration because the intake is down here on the engine, or the exhaust port is up here, and then we can't really measure blow down until we take this apart even further. So we might be able to see inside of here. We'll just have to take a look. To top dead center. Then we will look at the exhaust port as we spin it over. We will wait till right when it opens up. So right, go back a little bit, right there. And that is 95 degrees. It closes at 110. 160 degrees. That is, I mean, that makes sense. That's short as hell, though. I think we could really open that up then. I don't know if you guys can see in there. See if I can wiggle that down in there. Didn't really have that tight, just tight enough that it won't spin. On there straight, remove it. There we go. Okay, all the hardware's put away, and I'm sure just working this around the screwdriver, not going to cause any damage. And it should be enough pressure. So we slowly work it to get that flywheel to pop off. Oh, hey, look at that. With the clutch out, now we will be splitting the cases. So, some Allen key bolts right in the middle. Just like that. There we go, it's splitting. Look at that. Oh my god. I mean, this thing is just in perfect condition. Just looking at this case, I mean, there's really nothing you can do except for maybe like smooth this out, because we do have quite a bit of material here, and that'll go up into the transfer ports. But I mean, we can't really make the intake any bigger. I mean, the real test of today is, can this $20 rotary tool off of Amazon port these cases? And the cylinder jug over there, of course. Safety glasses and a little respirator mask, because we will be dealing with small aluminum shards and we do not want that in our lungs.
Alright guys, make sure y'all seal off anything like bearings or any place that you really don't want aluminum shards. And then when you get done, make sure you clean it off with either compressed air or some parts cleaner. I do both. You don't want aluminum shards everywhere, especially when you're doing the cylinder. You do not want any aluminum shards in your cylinder or you will blow it up.
I know it ain't much, but I feel like, you know, I'm just learning right now. Not a big deal. Again, kind of just smooth that out there. Be porting this. I mean, we don't have to go all the way into the jug, because we go all the way into the jug, then we got to worry about removing too much material. But
All of this right here, all of this up here can definitely be removed. So I'm gonna put this somewhere safe to protect it. Probably need to put it in like a Walmart sack. So optimally, we need to actually raise the exhaust port here, because there's a lot going on in here that we don't need when we could have more exhaust port timing. Right? A lot of duration being wasted. Blowdown is super short. We actually want that to be closer to about 30. And we're also going to remove these fins. So everybody says it's fine to remove them. I think I just need to be careful. We're gonna remove them. Alright, now that we've ported the jug and raised the exhaust port a little bit, we're going to measure it and see where I need to touch up, because I can tell that it's not super even, but I plan on coming back through there and raising it even more and just like getting the measurements again. My microphone died. Make sure you line up your piston rings with these little circles so that the piston ring closes all the way, it doesn't get caught on the skirt going in. Wish I had studs instead of bolts. On. You're now at 170, not 10, 15 degrees, 170 degrees. So now that I know that, I can remove a little more. Now expanded that to 190 degrees of exhaust duration. Transfer port blowdown is now at 25 degrees on the dot. So we will now be removing these fins and the transfer ports. We're just going to basically completely remove them. And then we also need to add a chamfered edge around there to make sure that the piston rings don't get caught, because that's a sharp edge right there. Alright, we put the jug back on. As you can tell, that is a lot bigger. And then new gaskets here and here, base gaskets, which we have another base gasket, but we replaced the case gasket while we were in there. First thing you want to do is take the Woodruff key, put it in there. Then you want to line up the flywheel, get on. Be a pain, really. Don't be a pain. Look at that. Then it's a washer and a bolt, and we'll just put it in there by hand, make sure we get it straight. We'll go for the hand torque spec. Thumb at the top, and we'll just put a pull, click. That's probably tight enough. So pray and hope. Turns over very easily. That's good. I got oil in the cylinder, so I'm kind of just letting it lubricate itself up. I've dropped oil down into everything. Make sure everything's lubed up. The exact same thing. Get it lined up. Get it on there. Lined up. Get it on there. And then make sure you're setting all this onto something soft like a rag. You don't want to damage the ends of your crankshaft or damage your flywheel or your clutch or anything. So you really don't want this stuff exploding on you. And torque spec, click. All the rotating stuff is still good. Fill up the motor, make sure nothing's going to get in there, no contaminants after we clean it all out. Throw that spark plug in. We have plenty of time tonight, so let's just keep the streak going. This thing is stuck in there. Nothing from WD-40 and spinning it over a few hundred times won't fix. Good. Depends on the wheel or the chain.
So as you can see in that last clip, it doesn't seem much faster, but it has a lot more mid-range torque and seems to be cutting out at the top end though. I think it needs a little bit more fuel. It's definitely running lean. So what I'm going to do is I upsized the jet in there with a little file, and we're going to hopefully make more power. And we only hit 23 on the first test drive. Let's see if we can go faster. We got no video of testing and tuning because, I mean, I've already kind of figured it out. I've been riding this for about a week, you know, just messing with it. And we are having problems with fuel delivery through this. And it's just because this little carburetor, 13mm carburetor, the float seat, I believe is the correct term, you just can't flow enough fuel out of there, and I'm not gonna enlarge that. And it is running a little lean, just ever so slightly. I mean, that's probably good enough, you know, but I did enlarge that jet. But I do have a different carburetor here, and we're just gonna switch to this carburetor, 18mm carburetor, flat slide, emulsion tube there. So what's gonna happen is it's basically the exact same thing as this, except this is round slide. This is bigger. This will allow more fuel flow. I'm probably gonna end up, this petcock flows more than enough fuel. I ain't gonna remove that. This one was a little restrictive. I drilled this one out and I drilled this one out, and we're still just not getting enough fuel flow. So, I mean, I'm sure this larger carburetor will help, and have to replace all that real quick. I'm gonna work on that tonight, and tomorrow I will get more footage after I've tuned it, and we will get some good riding clips. It's only really easy if you take the whole bike apart, take the damn motor off like we did when I went through it.
If you use any type of sealant, I just like to use the sticky tack stuff just because it's always a little bit more convenient. Sticking it all. Yeah, that might be a little too much, but fuck it. And we'll just have to all along again. Make sure all of it's covered in sealant so it all seals good. And then we will just put this up, put it right on.
Okay, we put that new carburetor on and we dealt with air leaks forever. I even went through here and replaced all the gaskets again, and it started doing good when I finally put O-rings in here. I modified this stock carb and put O-rings in there to prevent air leaks, and it was doing good for one run. Then I took the carburetor off and changed the jets, put it back on, and that unveiled up here we have a vacuum leak, and I'm sure it's because that gasket maker I used and a mixture of probably not tightening it good enough. We now have a vacuum leak, so we are going to do a whole nother rebuild, and that will conclude this video.